The economics develops rapidly in China. There are more and more parents want to buy houses for their children who are studying in the US. The United States attracts more Chinese real estate buyers than any other country.
It does make sense since the parents of these students are making a huge investment in their children's education. It is a way, I think, for the parents to make sure that their children are concentrating on what they need to do, which is the school, right? After all, tuition is very high.
Because of US house prices cheaper than China, many Chinese students want to buy the school nearby house.
Like in major city like Beijing or Shanghai, or Shenzhen or Guangzhou, the house is more expensive here. Most like average, I would say average house is close to almost 1 million. If you want to buy a house in Beijing or Shanghai, it's almost $1 million in US dollars. But over here, if you have 1 million, you can buy like two family property, or you can buy 2 or 3 smaller condo. You can live one by yourself or rent out. It's very good. The rent is better here.
There are a lot of Chinese students already bought their own houses, and they get many benefits.
For me, I think in Boston, I'll say, if you buy a house in Boston, it will be more valuable than you rent a house every year. Because if you rent a house every year, there will be a huge outcome for you. And but if you buy a house, the price for the house will go up every year, and you don't need to spend money to rent another house. And otherwise, you will not need to move to a new house every semester, and I think that's one of the most biggest benefit for me.
Many students want to choose the house near to campus because it is convenient to go to school.
All the properties, we would say, the very first property of a real estate would be location. And the second place comes to location, and third place also location. So location, 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 which means the location where the property is very important to a house or a apartment. So for people, no matter that's a student or that's a professional who goes to work, they will prefer to save time during the commute. So they will prefer to stay close to where they're going. And also they don't want to, let's say, I would use Beijing as an example. You know how much of traffic jam there are in Beijing, city of Beijing. And people would say they stuck on the road for 3 hours, 4 hours even, just to go to work or come back. And they're only working for 8 hours a day. That's somewhere from 14 to 16 hours of their time during the day, which is 24 hours. So to be close to the place you're going is definitely a very important point people are looking at.
Because of the property problems in China, many Chinese people prefer to buy the houses in the United States.
Students buy the condo mostly that is from their parents. The parents give them money to buy or come here buy the condo for them. So they just hoping that the condo is not for the parents, it's for the kids, for their future. Even they can just transfer the property to their kids in the future. So there's no worry about after you've been there 70 years, you're gonna worry about what's going on with your property and what's going on, or whether you're gonna have to pay more for the land or you don't have to worry about anything.
According to research, in 2012, Chinese people spent $100 billion to buy houses in the United States. In recent years, there are more and more Chinese students come to this country and they try to buy houses. It becomes a trend from fundamental digital journalism class, I'm Chao Guo.